Hey everyone, welcome to the Otoscope Excel video blog where I offer up my favorite Excel tips, tricks, and hacks. Today we're going to talk about array formulas. Array formulas are hugely powerful and using them still feels like magic to me. I'm going to show you how I use array formulas to add conditions or criteria to functions like max, min, and sum. First, let me show you the data I'm working with. These are records for a call center. I'm a call center manager, and for every call, we have the start and end time, the duration of the call, the wait time that the caller had to sit on hold before reaching a service rep, and the name of the service rep who answered their call. Now, as the call center manager, wait time is a number that is hugely important to me. I want to make sure that none of the callers endure more than 12 minutes of wait time. I know that the average wait time for the call center is less than 12 minutes, but I want another measure of our customer service effectiveness. I want to measure the maximum wait time every day. And that's what I'd like to compute in my column B of the first tab. Doing this for one day is pretty straightforward. Just go into cell B2, enter my max function, and since this is June 1st, 2013, select the wait times for all the calls that happened on June 1st. Now that was easy enough, but if I want to fill in the rest of June, I need to go through the same process 29 more times. And I don't know about you, but I don't have time to go manually enter 29 formulas. I've got important stuff to do. I want a formula that references the dates in column A that basically says only calculate max wait times for the calls that occurred on that date. And this is where array formulas are going to save the day. But first, let's quickly review Excel dates. This cell says June 1st, 2013. But because Excel stores dates as precise points in time, this is technically midnight on June 1st, 2013. And if I format the date, June 1st, 2013, as a number, you see a decimal, 41,426.0000. The left part is the date, June 1st. The right part is the time of day, and this is midnight, so it's 00000. If I look at the date of an actual call, say June 1st, 2013 at 12:56 a.m. and show the format for that as a number, you'll see that it has the same integer part, 41,426. That's for June 1st. But the decimal part is a little bit higher because it's later in the day. Okay, that's for dates. I'm also going to do one other thing. I'm going to rename my ranges because it'll make everything easier to read. So I'm going to go name call start data as call_start. And I'm going to rename my wait time data as wait_time. Sweet. So going back to my date logic, the formula I enter in row 2 should only consider calls that happened at any time of day on June 1st, 2013. That really means midnight on June 1st, 2013 is a lower bound, and midnight on June 2nd, 2013 is an upper bound. Let me show you what implementing the lower bound looks like first. Start with your max function, and then you're immediately going to type out if call_start, the call start time, is greater than or equal to the date in cell A2, June 1st, 2013. This part is really important. You can think of this as your filter logic. The max function is only going to see calls that meet this criteria. If any call started on or after midnight, June 1st, 2013, it will pass through. Okay, the next argument in the if statement determines what the max function is going to evaluate for the calls that make it through the filter. This is going to be wait times, so enter wait_time, and then close out my formula. I need to hit Control-Shift-Enter to make it an array formula, and you know you did it right if your formula has curly braces on either end. Great! There's my max function with a lower bound filter. Let's make this formula more useful by adding a second filter for the upper bound. To do that, you need to add another if function inside the first one, and it's going to be in the parameter value if true. For the upper bound filter, I'm going to add if call_start, my call start time, is less than the date in cell A3, June 2nd, 2013 at midnight, and close out the formula with a close parentheses. You can think of this now as two filters in a row. The first filter is the lower bound, It takes calls that started on or after midnight, June 1st, 2013. The second filter is my upper bound. It requires that they started before midnight on June 2nd, 2013. And the max function will only see wait times for the calls that fall within both bounds. This formula is beautiful. I'll copy this down to populate for all of June. And that is much easier than entering 30 formulas manually. Okay, let's say we wanted to calculate the maximum for a specific service rep. Maybe we want to see how an individual is performing. All we need to do is add another if function to our formula. But first I'll rename the service rep data to service_rep. Okay, now I'll go back into my formula, and in the value if true component of the second if function, I'm going to add a third if function. If service_rep, my service reps, equals, quote, Jack, sorry Jack, we're picking on you here, comma, and then the rest of the formula, and then I'll add a close parentheses after. Copy that down, and now the wait times evaluated by the max function have to meet 3 criteria. The associated calls have to be within the date bounds, and the service rep needs to be Jack. So now we're looking at the daily maximum wait times just for Jack's calls. Awesome, and that wraps it up for this episode. Thanks as always everyone for watching, and I'd love to see your comments and questions on the blog.